Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste any of your time with the lines or what happened in the first two periods or whatever. I'm pretty pissed off right now. That is not a game that you can lose. Bottom line. I don't care at this point about, playing with Boston or doing any of that or any of the little key wins or little moral victories you want to have, because that really doesn't mean anything right now, considering where they are in the standings, how many games are left, points, whatever. The Islanders lost today. They only got 1 point. You win this game, you're up 5. And of course, with the team that all season long, and everyone in this city loves to pipe it all the time, is that, oh, well, Tortorella, he always has them ready, and he always does all these little things, and they'll always be ready to play, right? And every night you'll expect them to play hard. That's great if you play hard every night. That's great if you're always ready to play for 40 minutes and then suck in the first 4 and give up 3 goals in 2 minutes and 56 seconds and blow the game right there. And look, yes, they played great for the first 2 periods. Yes, they had 2 leads in this game. They blew them both. I don't care anymore about the moral victories. It doesn't matter at this point. They've already proven they can do it. So why do we keep making it like it's this big thing every game? Because really, it's not anymore. They're doing it. That's fine. And it just gets to the point where it's like, how much more are we going to talk about Torts and everything that he does when in some of the biggest moments of the season, it's not even happening. I mean, 3 goals in first 4 minutes of the period, in 2 minutes 56 seconds already, and it was a 2-goal game. And these aren't goals that are like incredibly like not savable or anything. These are literally guys standing around watching Charlie Coyle of all players, literally watching him walk through right on Felix Sandstrom and score top shelf. Like, what are we doing? I mean, where was Travis Konecny tonight? Where was Owen Tippett tonight? Noah Cates. Yes, that line's been good, but how long are we going to wait for the offense to come? Travis Sanheim, Mark Stahl, my God, he was awful in this game. I mean, there were so many bad things from this game alone, and that's 3 games in the past 4 that you've been embarrassed at some point. Like, I'm sorry. It can't happen this later in the season. And yes, I want them to make the playoffs. Yes, I want them to, do well and at least do something like that if they can get in, because I think this group might actually be able to do something if they were to get in. But with this defense and with this offense, hell no. And that power play, who, yes, I know I'm saying that and they did score tonight, but oh my God. I mean, it's going to be the sole reason that they lose the series, regardless of what happens if this team even gets in or has a chance of getting in, depending on how this has been. But my God, I mean, this was just brutal to watch in the third period. The first 2 periods, I was happy. I was fine. I was smiling. I was excited. I said, oh my God, there's a chance they might win this game in Boston. And on what earth did I think that was a possibility? Apparently I should have, because they came out in the third period, like I said, with their tail in between their legs and just let the Bruins do whatever they wanted for 2 minutes and 56 seconds, and right then and there, the game's out the window. And of course, you just knew it was going to happen. You knew it. They'd get a goal, right? And they get one from Nick Delorier, of all guys, the guy who's been the most useless forward in the entire season. Finally gets one. Okay, cool. That's great. And then Morgan Frost with some absolute wizardry right in front of the net, and it's 5-4. And they're like, okay, they got a chance. There's 4 minutes left. And of course, the Flyers go Sanheim to York, Sanheim to York, Sanheim to York, Sanheim to York. One of them shoots it. It goes the other way. And the story of Felix Sandstrom's career, the story of his career up until this point, has been somewhat good for any period of time, always having talent, whatever. And then he gives up a soft one. And that was the game right there. Because if that doesn't go in, say the Flyers do tie it, even if they get a point out of this game, I don't even care. You need points. You cannot lose in regulation. You can't. You cannot do it. In a playoff race, and where this team is, you can't do it. You just can't. And you cannot afford to keep losing these games. Again, where was Konecny? Where was Tippett? Where are the guys that are supposed to lead this team? What has Konecny done since he's come back from injury? Even if he's still hurt. That's, fine. You could say that, but I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, I don't think if the Flyers have talked about rebuild this entire time, that they would have this guy playing at that point of the season, unless Konechny's outweighing the decision and he can play. But I mean, my God, I mean it is just an epic collapse at this point, because now it doesn't get any easier. It's not like this is a game you can go and say, oh, it'll get easier. No, it won't. The next 6 games are the same thing. It's Toronto, Carolina, Boston again, Florida, and the Rangers. It's not easier at all. And there's no point of me that looks at this and says that they're going to be okay. None of it. Because with this defense and how slow it takes these 4 specific guys that I'm about to name right here, Addard, Stahl, Zamula, and Johnson, to move a puck up the ice, it is astronomical on how long it takes them to get the puck up the ice and how different it is. Because the same team that's going to blow the spot that the previous team put them in is going to be incredible. And the reason I'm so frustrated is because these are things that a group that has played in the NHL can do. It's not like they're losing because they just don't have the talent. You were tied 2-2 in this game. You almost tied it again late. You still have some of the talent here, and when 1 or 2 guys are off, this team is screwed because they don't have any of the other talent. The high-end guys have said this all season long. Clearly, if you watch the game, you know it and you see it too. They don't have it. They don't have the high-end guy that can just go and do that. It's unbelievable to me how you still ice this exact same power play unit that has no area of anything to shoot or get any sort of shot on net. I know they scored power play goals, and I think it was 2 straight games, but basically the one against San Jose was because it was 6-on-5, but whatever, you get my point. They have scored power play goals in 2 straight games. But does it really matter? Because we all know what's going to happen is if they were to make the playoffs, which it doesn't look like they are, but who knows? The Islanders are going into their own gauntlet themselves. Maybe the Flyers can turn this around. I have no idea. But it is not a good recipe to keep going into this and still having the exact same lineup like you have, because you have no other choice. And that's the unfortunate part of this whole thing, is they've gotten everyone's hopes up, including myself, as you clearly can tell, and now they're going to blow this. So, I can't, and it is just absolutely unbelievable how they just, that's all I got. That's all I can say. I have nothing else to mention from this game because none of it matters. The lines were basically the same. It was Cates, Paling, Hathaway, Farabee, Couturier, Konechny, Tippett, Frost, Forrester, Delorier, Lawton, and Atkinson. And the defense I read, the other pairing was York and Sanheim. And again, Sandstrom was in net. Gurionov and Brink sat. And that was tonight's game. I mean, it is unbelievable how long and I have waited for somewhat of a season like this where they could maybe, just maybe, squeak in and see what they can do. But the more I watch it, there's no way on this earth that this team with this defense core has any chance of making the playoffs, because it is astronomical the amount of breakdowns they have in a game. I mean, Stahl was basically the reason for 3 of the goals. The first one, the second one, and DeBrusk's goal, which I think, the 5th one, that one at the side of the net. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's for some reason merging on the first one and trying to collapse. He leaves Geekie wide open and he blasts one by Sandstrom. That's a great shot too, but someone's got to be there. The second one, it's a slam dunk in front. He gets tripped and falls, and it's a slam dunk for Coyle. Tie game. And the Flyers had just scored right before that. And the penalty kill, which has been one of their best facets of the season, has just disappeared. It's gone. It's out of the window like that. And it goes from first to third. I know that's not a huge drop, but it's certainly dipped. And, they've given up a ton of goals. And they've given up 15 in the last 3 before tonight. You had 6. That's 21 in the last 4 games. How do you expect to win games like that? That's all I got. Thanks everybody again for all support as always. My name is Chris, and I will talk to you all again soon.